Welcome to O-Talkin' with Dave. Here's Dave.
Hey, how we doing out there? I hope you're doing great. I am top shelf, ready to go. A lot of feedback lately around emotions and different things around what am I feeling versus how am I responding, and a lot of things around that. It's good questions, good feedback. Lets me see that we're really introspective and we want to get better. And by better, I don't mean anything's wrong with us. I just mean, hey, once we know the why, we can determine the how. And sometimes we hide that from ourselves. It's like wearing a mask. When I think about it, I think back to The Mask. Remember that, Jim Carrey? Great. I think that's the first time I ever saw Cameron Diaz, back when she was pretty. Anyway, I remember Ben Stein was in there, and he was like the psychologist or whatever, and Wendy goes in and he goes, "Yes, Wendy, we all wear masks, metaphorically speaking," the way he talked. And so that's what I think of, because that is. We wear masks, and a lot of times, I don't think we even realize it. I mean, think about it. Have you ever reacted in a way that you even surprised you? Maybe you snapped. Something just got you, and you snapped for no reason. Or maybe the other side of it, you clammed up. I don't know why. I'm just into myself. I clammed up. That got to me. Or maybe later you realized it got to you, but things got tense and you shut down. Or just laughing at something that was actually hurtful. I was hurt, but I laughed it off. Yeah, I've done that. I still do that. But the uncomfortable truth about that is most people never say the things that they're feeling out loud. I don't know if it's because they don't understand it, they haven't processed it, so we react in the moment. We react to a trigger, or we're touched in some way. We have that reaction, and sometimes we surprise ourselves. But we live in a world full of people who are scared, but instead they're acting angry. It's easier to act angry than scared. Or they're hurt, but they're acting indifferent. But they're hurt. So being scared and being hurt are the two foundational emotions. And being insecure, but acting superior to overcome that. That's the mask. We've gotten so good at performing emotions that we've forgotten how to feel them. And I don't like drama, and I don't like people that are overly emotional, especially for dramatic reasons. However, sometimes we need to feel them to really understand it, and then we can address it. Deep stuff out of the chutes, Dave. What the heck? Come on, warm us up a little bit. Nope. That's what I want to talk about. What's underneath these masks that we're wearing? And here the thing is, we're not broken. I'm not trying to fix anything. I'm not trying to fix me. I'm just trying to find me behind all these masks, all the facade that we've put on over ourselves. I don't like masks. COVID taught me to hate masks. And still, when people wear them, I guess it's the liberal MAGA hat. I probably pissed a bunch of people off with that, but boom, I'm leaving it in. Anyway, masks have a different meaning after COVID. I'm talking about the emotional masks that we wear. Maybe the other kind too, I don't know. But this isn't about fluff. It's not about oversharing. Not at all. It's about understanding why we're reacting the way we do and how it's keeping us stuck. We're stuck, and we've put ourselves in this situation. And then hopefully we can get some honest healing or honesty with ourselves and the people that we care about in a way that's real and true and sincere. I think it's important. So underneath it all, the reasons that we react or retreat or that we stay stuck where we are is because we're looking in the mirror at somebody wearing a mask. So most of what we call emotion is a disguise now. Oh, goodness, look at men. Oh, the macho, the bravado. They're not going to... Or then you go to the other side, the weepy little man bun wearing, scared, in touch with himself, being henpecked to within an inch of his dignity. Whew, Again, Dave, right out of the chutes. But the thing is, we're not as mysterious as we think. Nah, most of our drama or emotional responses, they're just a bad disguise for one of two things. And I hit on it earlier. Either we're scared or we're hurt. Those are two things that aren't manly. And I'm not talking to men. I'm not only talking to men. I'm talking to everybody. Nobody wants to be scared. Nobody wants to be hurt. And to admit that you are, that implies weakness. Nah. But everything, think about it. Sarcasm, anger, arrogance, apathy. I don't care one way or another. That keeps me from being scared or hurt. It's just a costume that we're wearing. People yell when they're scared. They get mean when they feel weak. And they shut down when they're hurt. Those are three things. But they're all scared, weak, hurt. Tons of things. So, you've got what you show. Like when you're angry, a lot of times it's just a fear of being disrespected or being powerless. Sarcasm. I love sarcasm. I do. And a lot of time that is a cover-up for embarrassment or shame or betrayal or other things. We'll show indifference when we just don't want to be disappointed. I don't want to push all in on this one because if they lose, I'll be crushed. So I'll just act indifferent. Or control or perfectionism. I don't show perfectionism in anything. I'm a bit of a control freak at times, but it's not perfectionism. But that's to cover a fear of chaos or failure. Or maybe it's some past trauma coming back. Arrogance. I've been accused of being arrogant from my wife. She also is the same one that doesn't get my sarcasm. That's because sarcasm takes a certain degree of intelligence to get that. But arrogance sometimes it's controlling a fear of being irrelevant or invisible. So we'll overdo it a bit. And by we, it's all bad. These aren't just male traits. I know what you're thinking. Or fake confidence. Fake confidence or ego. That's to overcome any insecurities. Some of the loudest, most confident people that I see out there wearing those masks, they're just insecure. And you know who? People probably coming to mind right now. Then you got your people pleasers. There's that mask. Their fear of abandonment. I don't want to be alone. I'll do whatever it takes. Don't leave me. And then that overworking workaholic type. They're avoiding something. They're avoiding fear of loss or grief or even shame. I'll just work it. I'll just stay busy. That's a mask. It's kind of like wearing a Halloween mask to a job interview. Think about that. You're not fooling anybody. You're not fooling them. Sure, not fooling yourself. You know what you look like. But you need to put on this appearance that most people see through. And truthfully, I believe most people see through the metaphoric masks that we're wearing before we realize it. So I think it's a good moment to dig in, to think about this stuff. But why do we put them on? Why do we do this? If most people can see through it, especially the ones who know us best, why do we do that? And I think back as a strapping young lad raised in Northwest Alabama with some degree of macho mystique and redneckery. I think, hey, we're taught to be tough. Don't be scared or hurt. Be tough. We're not tell the truth, but put that mask on. The truth is I'm scared. I am scared to death, but I got to act tough. I got to act macho. That's why we rev our engines. Giddy up. Also, vulnerability and being scared and hurt, that was seen and still is seen as weakness. We're not taught to do that. Come on, especially men. We do men a great disservice early on. Big boys don't cry. Yeah, trust me. If you push certain buttons, I'll cry. You give me a sad commercial or a sad movie, I'll cry like a baby. That's not tough. I have to put on a mask. I have to go to the bathroom and put on a mask. Also, we never learn how to talk about what we're afraid of. Yeah, I mean, okay, there's a monster under the bed. I'm scared. Really, I just don't want to go to sleep. And that's the mask that they thought even when we told of what we're really afraid of. That's just a mask. Hey, all right, I'll wear a different mask. Show up and cover up. You didn't talk about fear, your fears, what hurts you. We're taught to be tough. Emotional intelligence came along way later, but we weren't taught that. We were taught emotional survival. Here's how you get through it. Don't let it get to you. We'll show them, male or female. But it's taking a toll. It really is. You look at it and there's people on couches all over America right now because of this. 70% of people avoid difficult conversations out of fear. Fear of how they'll respond. Fear of where that will lead to. Fear of consequences that's all made up. When in reality is, of that 70% that avoid the conversation, that's, I would dare say, the vast majority. You could resolve conflict with difficult conversations, because difficult conversations need to be had. But 70% of people, they avoid them out of fear. Timidity and fear. It's awful. Suppressing emotions increases anxiety by how much? How much do you think? Suppressing your emotions will increase your anxiety, your tenseness, your nervousness, your angst 300%. If you suppress them, rather than let them out, take off the mask, share it. That's in the Journal of Psychosomatic Research. Now, I am not some big psychosomatic research pontificator. I'm just reading you some stats here. 300% because you suppress them. Let them out. Also, 60% of angry outbursts are misdirected pain. Hurt. It's misdirected. Like the old kicking the cat. The guy has a bad day and finally comes home and there's the cat. You kick the cat. You know the story. You know the analogy. However, think about it. Think about it. The baristas at Starbucks, the baggers at the grocery store, these kind of people, you're not mad at them. You're not mad at the server at your restaurant. Come on. It's misplaced pain. And 80% of people battling addiction have unresolved trauma issues around pain or fear. 80%. Wow. Yeah. We're not okay. We just got good at faking it. I joust a little with those people that say it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to be okay as well. However, it's okay to get okay. Can we all agree to that? So we have to take those masks off so we can see ourselves. What do we really look at? Some people have been faking it for so long that they don't know. I remember back in the day, I loved comedians. I loved like Rich Little. He would do all the voices. I said he had hundreds of voices. And he would talk so much. I remember Johnny Carson asked him one time. He said, Rich, you do so many voices. Do you remember what yours is? And think about it. We forget how he really talks because he's used all these other voices. There's so many people who do those impressions, and I forgot what they really. Yeah, Frank Caliendo. I'm so used to him talking like other people. When he talks normal, I'm thinking, who's he doing? Who is that right now? I think we do the same thing. We're so used to seeing ourselves in a mask, we'll wear them to bed. We'll get up and it's still there. We sometimes forgot what we look like, and by what we look like, the emotions that are in there, because we don't allow ourselves to feel them. We wear the mask. And when you don't know what you're feeling, that's why you react spontaneously and suddenly in a way that even shocks you. So if you fake confidence long enough, you're going to start believing it. Which, I'm telling you, I'd rather you be confident and grow in your confidence than just to be scared. But however, you can't fake it and expect it to be real. If you're lying to other people, you're numbing yourself because you lose your conscience. You lose your integrity. You lose your empathy over time. You've been using a rusty compass so long, you think lost is really your real direction. Your compass just doesn't work anymore. And so by faking it for so long, you lose what's inside. And that's tough. So how do we take these masks off? How do we take off our masks? I think first of all, you got to want to. You got to notice that something's wrong. And then when something happens, when you act spontaneously, like I said earlier, then you even surprise yourself, stop for a second and ask yourself, wait a minute, what just happened? I just snapped and I'm not really upset. What am I really feeling here? Or why did that threaten me? What happened? I felt threatened by that. Why did I feel that? Is it my identity or my safety or my ego? What's going on here? Should I be upset? And what am I upset about? I've had to do that many times. What am I feeling? And usually it comes back to scared or hurt. What am I scared of? How did that hurt me? Why did that hurt me? So first of all, that's it. I think you got to notice certain things that trigger you and make you feel a certain way. And then you got to name it. And by that, I think it's a quick statement with a couple of blanks here. I feel this way because of this. For example, let me think. I feel annoyed. That's how I feel. I feel disrespected. Okay. I feel like I don't matter. See, that's how it evolves. I'm annoyed. Okay. I'm disrespected. You know what? It's not even that. I just feel like I don't matter. And so by the time you say it 3 times and get a little more personal, then you're getting to the truth. You're not annoyed. You're not disrespected. You feel like you don't matter, like your opinion doesn't matter. Yeah, they cut me off. That's annoying. That's disrespectful. No, it makes me feel like I don't matter to them or in this conversation. And you know what that is? That hurt. So I feel hurt. The fact that I don't matter hurts. See how it works? Do it 3 times. And then sometimes you got to let your body speak first. You feel it. You feel like a tight chest. Was that anxiety? Or I know I've got a friend, I can tell when he's getting upset. His complexion will change. Or he'll trot his legs. Or he'll tap his finger. I'm thinking, uh-oh, he's getting worked up. Here we go. This is going to be a good one. Or maybe sometimes, here comes some rage. He's about to lose it. Or you get that lump in your throat. I get that. Like at a really sad movie, or it shows grief, but also there have been times when I really couldn't speak because I'm overwhelmed with grief or sadness. Or one of the things, you get to the point where you can't hold your shoulders up and you've got the stooped shoulders. That's a sign. That's body. I love body language, people who read that. But that's a sign of shame, which all of these are scared or hurt. So see, you notice that about yourself. A lot of people will notice it in others before they'll notice it. But notice that. What am I literally feeling right now? Test or try. I can feel my pulse. Oh, I can remember a couple of times it was rage. I remember, goodness, the old way Southwest used to board, people would cut in line, and I could just feel the rage. Ooh, take them out. Well, what was that? But he's breaking in line. That's disrespectful. He's cutting in front of me. I don't even matter here. I'm invisible. And it gets to the point where I wasn't scared. I was hurt for the fact that, my goodness, it's as if me and my family don't matter to this guy. And it came across as rage. Just a little psychoanalysis there. But there's something there. And so then you've got to say the thing that you would say if you had no fear. What would I say right now if I wasn't afraid? Wow. That's when you get honest. That's when you get honest. If I'm the only one that's here, that's going to hear this, like in the scenario with the guy cutting in front of me, it's, look, man, I'm here and I matter. You can't just cut in front of me. And it makes me feel like a coward if I don't say something and stand my ground. Wow. I wouldn't say that to that group. I feel like a coward right now. What a wimp I am if I don't do something. No, but all of that went on. But what I felt was, ooh, I listened to my body, and that's what I felt. So I had to say something. I probably didn't handle it very well. Kids, go to the bathroom. Come back in 10 minutes. Yeah, but that's it. So you've got to be honest with yourself and say what you're feeling. Then you can deal with it. You're taking all these masks off. Man, he's threatening my manhood here in my mind. If I don't stand up, I can't face myself. So let me put this mask on. Also, you got to drop the weak versus strong game. There are only two types of emotions. The processed one, which leads to peace, or the unprocessed that leads to problems. And process just means you've thought it through. You've just thought it through. And we talked about recognize versus reacting in a few podcasts. The processed is, not recognize, responding versus reacting. The process is you're responding. You've thought about it, and you're going to respond in a way that's a better outcome. You may not win, you may not lose, but it's a better outcome. Where unprocessed is you're reacting. Oh, that can lead to problems. Yes, that can lead to problems. So that's the things that we do to help take our mask off. I'll hit them again. First of all, notice the pattern. What triggers you? Second of all, name it to tame it. Know what it is. Because once you know what it is, it helps. Ask those 3 questions. What am I feeling? I feel annoyed. I feel disrespected. I feel like I don't matter. So name it to tame it. Third, let your body speak first. Ooh, I'm feeling tight. Ooh, I feel my blood pressure rising. I got a lump in my throat. Oh, I'm cowing down. What's going on here? And then finally, say what you would say if there were no fear and nobody else hears it. Be honest with yourself. What are you feeling? Why are you feeling this way? And then forget that weak versus strong. Process it. Process what you're thinking before you speak. Otherwise, you could have problems. And so part of this is as we grow up and we grow up mature in our maturity and we're willing to admit these things together, I still think it's tougher for men. Ladies, you may get upset by that. You may say, yeah, I know. My husband's the same way. We don't want to admit to ourselves, much less anyone else, that we're hurt or scared. It's tough. One thing that I believe we see it in others before we admit it to ourselves. I know a lot of times my wife and I will talk about somebody and we got the world problem solved in regards to other people. We do. Because we can see it. But we don't. We'll be talking through our own mask while we're talking about their mask. I don't know what all this is. I guess it's a mask. The thing is, I think it's important to help other people remove their masks without forcing it. Without just grabbing it and yanking it off or prying it off. And so I want to go over some ways to do that because we see it. And sometimes when we get in a better place, explaining our journey to them, that doesn't help. They're not ready for it yet. You went through a process. You can't give them a pill. You could. However, there's some steps I'd like to go through as far as helping others remove their mask because it's a freedom. It's a freedom. You can deal with it and move on and deal with it less in the future. So first thing is don't call them out. Don't call them out on it. Bring them in. If they snap at you, it's, oh, wow, sounds like something a little deeper than that. Can we talk about that? Can you tell me more? You don't usually do that, so clearly you feel strongly about that. Tell me what it's like. Or you seem a little bit off here. You need to let something out. Hey, safe environment. Go, me or anybody. Let it go. I get it. You create safety without shaming them for acting ridiculous. You may have done the same thing earlier. However, it's important that you don't throw shame on them for their vocalization or their hissy fit or whatever they did so that they can get to you. Call them out, boom, they're going to lock that mask on. Call them in. Don't call them out. Then secondly, give them some emotional honesty. Show them what that looks like. Tell them what you're feeling. Even if it's ugly or messy or not sophisticated, you got to be calm though. Don't be dramatic and perform for them, but be real. Be vulnerable. Let them know how that made you feel. Maybe even share when you did that in the past and how that made you feel and others feel, but let them in. Be emotionally honest with you. Vulnerability will pull them in. It leads a conversation. It's not a lecture. And they'll recognize that because it's honest. And if they know you care, it's a lot easier. Sometimes you have to prove you care. But also, use some curiosity. Not criticism, but curiosity. You'll see patterns in people. If you think about people right now, you will actually recall patterns, what sets them off, what makes them emotional, what makes them withdraw, that kind of thing. If you're angry, you seem a little protective of something here. Did something under that? Something doing that? Or, oh, sarcastic. That joke felt a little loaded. Everything okay? And I'm not talking about the turd in your punch bowl now. I'm talking about somebody you care about that you can tell they're wearing a mask. I have tactics for dealing with people who are cutting you down or belittling you or doing stuff like that. That's not what this is. I don't think that came across the way you meant for it to. Is everything okay? That kind of thing. You don't have to be okay with me. Just be honest with me. Yeah, you don't have to perform. You don't have to candy coat it. It's me here. Come on. I'll take my mask off. And hopefully they'll take theirs off too, and you can have an honest conversation. So that's important. And then that's just 3 quick things for somebody else. Don't call them out. Don't be preachy. Don't reprimand them. Number 1. Number 2, model what being honest looks like. And then 3, notice these patterns with curiosity, not criticism. Yeah, something's a little off here. You okay? Let's talk about something. I remember we had years ago, somebody came from nowhere and they did exactly this thing. Dave, do you have a burden? What are you talking about? You just seem a little different today. Do you have a burden? That totally disarmed me. I forgot what my burden was, but that was so honest and caring. All right, let me take my mask off. Here we go. Yeah. But see, the cycle repeats itself. The cycle of wearing masks and goes back to being hurt or scared. And I think the reason it repeats itself is because a reaction, first reacting versus responding, it's a reflex. It's a knee jerk. I can tell you so many times things happen and boom, you react all of a sudden, whether physically is a common analogy, but mentally, certain things, you do a certain thing that questions their manhood, they're going to react. I remember in the 3rd grade, somebody said, your mama, we're going to punch somebody. Later, it became a TV show. So things change over time. But also, we need to reflect on something. It's a decision. Instead of reacting, let's think about it. All right, why did I do that? Why did I react this way? And a lot of times it's my insecurity. My insecurity is driven by maybe past failures, or maybe it's nervousness about the future. You know what those 2 things are? I'm scared. I'm scared to fail. I'm scared to not succeed to the degree I want. And once I call it scared, now I can deal with it. Now, my reflection on something. They said something and I came right back at them. It's because what they said, it made me angry. No, it didn't make me angry. It surprised me. Okay, that's fair. But what they said, it hurt my feelings. There you go. Instead, you acted bold. You put that mask on of some bold, sarcastic, funny, clever guy. Maybe the fact it was a friend of yours who, was ad-libbing with you, and he got one over on you, and everybody laughed, and now now I'm threatened. I'm cornered. I have to come across with something witty and cutting and blah, 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 and how dare him do that? My goodness, I thought we were friends. In the split second, you were hurt. And really, he didn't mean to hurt you. It was part of the game. So that's why it repeats itself. And most people are surrounded by other people who are performing. That's what it is. And everybody's got on masks. But did he mean that or not? Is he wearing a mask or is this real? What's going on here? Yeah, it's like a masquerade party, where everyone forgot the party's over. And now we can take off our masks. And when you do, everybody's sweaty. Girls, maybe guys, makeup is running. Things are running amok. But it was all covered up because you were wearing your masks. When you take that mask off, it's real. And we're all in the same game. So how can we heal from this rather than just cope with it? Because I know you take your mask off. Oh, that's vulnerability. That's rough. That's rough. But to heal, I don't know. I don't like that word. It fits. But heal, it sounds like I'm trying to be too coy with you. How do you get over it and stay over it? How about that? First of all, you got to call it what it is. I'm not mad. I'm this. And usually it's a type of hurt or a type of scared. But think back. Let's trace it back. Why do I feel that way? When's the first time I felt this way? You may find that, hey, this started when I was a kid. This started when I handed my dad the channel locks when he asked for the pliers. And I handed him the screwdriver pointed side toward his hand instead of handle first. Boom, he did this. I acted that way. Boom, boom. Now, that's why when anybody questions me, I blow up at them because I'm scared. I'm not scared of Dad. I'm just saying, you see how that goes? But if we don't trace it, it's hard to name it. And then you got to be honest about it. Hey, that bothered me. I don't know why, but that bothered me. I think it's fun to say, the things I have fun with. You do this and it will totally help you take your masks off. I don't know if and I'm scared is one thing. I don't know if I'm pissed off or hurt right now at what you just said. Then listen to them. Oh man, are they going to react? Yeah, I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay today. I don't know if that bothered me yesterday or not, but it bothers me today. And I don't know why. I'm trying to figure out, am I scared or hurt? Whoa, boom. That's a vulnerable moment. And see, I'm doing it in a non-vulnerable way, but you're reframing it. It's emotional honesty. That's not a weakness. That's strength, and it gives it directions. Yeah, I'm angry, but I think instead of angry, I think I'm hurt. Boom. You have just broken through 2 masks when you do that. Address it. Don't just stop yelling. Ask, what pain am I yelling over? Why is my voice elevated right now? Why am I so angry? Ask it. Own it. And trace it back. You'll determine what the problem is. And it may be situational. It came from somewhere. Very few things are truly spontaneous. That's a whole nother talk. So also, anchor analogies. When you anchor, I love analogies. I live with them. I'm still working on the podcast about Total Recall. That's what it's called. Being able to pull analogies from the past to apply them to now. But I think you anchor analogies to help you remember. Like a fire alarm. Anger's an alarm, okay? Fear is smoke. Hurt is fire. Okay, that alarm, okay, all right. Fear, where there's smoke, there's fire, okay. The alarm, there's smoke, there's fire. Fire means hurt. So that's, you put alarms in place. I'm starting to feel this way. I smell smoke. Oh, I'm afraid I don't want the fire. I can stop it before hurt happens. It's like an emotional credit card. Avoid it now, pay later with interest. The interest is what gets you. The whole video DVD rental system. Some of you are thinking, what is he talking about? We stream that stuff. The whole profit model behind those was get you on your late fee. Be Kind, Rewind, remember? They got you. They made their money on your late fee as 100% profit. Please. Same way with credit cards. The interest, that's how they're making their money. big time. You're late on a payment, interest will double. Wow. So think about it, an emotional credit card. This is making me emotional. What's it about? If I don't address it now, I'm going to have to address it later with interest. Let's address it. Boom. Analogies. I did the rusty compass earlier. Detaching myself from this. Yeah, it's still pointing that way. Even a stopped clock. I remember my grandfather used to say that. Even a stopped clock is right twice a day. But if your compass isn't working because it's rusty, because you haven't taken care of it, you're going to be going in circles. So let's take care of it. The fire alarm, the emotional credit card, the rusty compass, that's all analogies of take care of it now. What are you feeling? Name it. Let's address it. And boom. And a lot of times you're addressing it internally. You don't have this other person because you're feeling it. Nobody else is feeling it. And you've responded inappropriately. Dig in, fix the fire alarm, pay off the credit card, oil up that compass so that you don't have to deal with this again. And so that's when you deal with these things. It's okay to be scared and hurt. Let's call it scared and hurt. I don't like it. Do you like to be scared or hurt? I don't think so. So let's talk about why it does that. Sometimes it's going back, and I'm not talking about psychoanalysis. Once you call it out and look at your face in the mirror with no mask, you can deal with it. And what happens when you do that? Let me show you the promised land. As Tosh would say, let me feed you, baby birds. When you take that mask off and deal with your honest face, fear loses its grip. You're being honest now. There's no mask to deal with. A mask is a lie. A mask is a facade. A mask is emotional warfare you're having with yourself. You take that mask off, I'm not afraid of it. I'm dealing with it now. I've got some clarity. It's returned. That's why I act that way. And a lot of times it's you. It's not who did whatever they did. If they had nothing to do, they have no clue. It's me. I reacted poorly because of this. I got mad when I was hurt. I got defensive because I was scared. It's clear. And I'm not ashamed. It's a breakthrough. And what this happens is, it's going to be easier to be okay with yourself. You'll connect with yourself, but others are going to notice that. You're going to be stronger. You're going to be harder to knock off balance because you got it. This is me. Can you identify yourself? Yes, this is me. I am a flawed, slightly losing my hair, slightly portly, redneck guy from the South that's okay with that. You can't hurt my feelings. You can't tell me any redneck jokes I don't either agree with or have heard before. And I've noticed there is another thing. This is a good segue. You make redneck jokes? Okay, that's fine. Because I am one. That's what Foxworthy said. I can tell redneck jokes because I are one. However, certain people, I'll get upset when they do that. You know why? Are they putting me down? Are they making fun of me? You making fun of me, Riz? You know what? They're hurting my feelings. I would never tell them that, but that's why. And why are they hurting my feelings? They shouldn't. And you deal with it. Real confidence doesn't mean I got it all together. No, I know what's going on here inside of me. I'm not afraid to own it. I don't have to tell you. I got to tell me, though. I got to be honest with me. And once you do that, the worst part of wearing a mask is when you wear a mask looking in the mirror, you don't even see who you are anymore. You're fooling yourself. So that is the beauty. Once you're okay with that, you won't wear them in public because you're that confident. I know what's going on with me, and I'm not afraid of it. I'm not hurt by it. I've already dealt with that. And anything else is self-inflicted. So I feel better just having talked through this with you guys. So the main thing here is understand you are not broken. No, nothing to fix here. You're just buried. You're buried under your reactions and all the performances going on around you by you and others. You've put up so much emotional armor, that it's become real. And it's powerful. Yeah. Take the armor off, and you'll find that you're going to be just fine. You are powerful and feeling like a human again, rather than this cartoon character you've been portraying. That is empowering. The moment you start telling yourself the truth, to yourself, of course, first, is the moment you start setting yourself free from all of these masks, metaphorical and otherwise. Now, here's the kicker. When you show up unmasked, you give others permission to do the same. Oh, I remember days when that first girl would come to school or come to work or come whenever with no makeup on. Oh, my goodness. The extra time they had that morning. They were naturally beautiful. Better with all that paint on the barn. It gave permission for the other ladies, or maybe one other lady, to come in the same way. It does. What you do, and be the leader. Do it first. Others will do that. They're going to thank you, which will empower you even more. It's not just personal healing. It can be a generational change. But you know what it also is? It's being generous to other people. You're confident enough to do it. I've dealt with my demons. I've dealt with my challenges. I like me. And you know what? You like me too. So it's empowering. And I absolutely love it. So the masks we wear, we put them on. And we had to take them off. I think I'll end with that. So thanks for much. Let me know what's going on. I'm getting some great comments. I've got, oh goodness, the one where I said weak parents raise weak parents. You guys have flooded me with that, and I thought it was going to be controversial. No, you've told me so many stories, and thank you. I hope you do the same here. Feel free. Hey, hurt me, scare me. That's fine. Just please. Don't be silent. Let me know how you feel. David@otalks.com. Dave@otalks.com. Hit me up. Talk to me. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for hanging on. And most of all, thanks for O-Talking with Dave. Giddy up.